Long distances are definitely a problem at airports across the world. And so because of that, traditional Ethernet is limited in the scope that they can function. So you've got to build out more and more real estate to support that legacy copper environment.
And what Optical LAN brings you is it brings you the ability to go those long distance without those closets. So it centralizes your systems. It lets you collapse the systems on top of one infrastructure or one network, so that when you have to put an audio speaker somewhere, and next to it you have to put a flight information display, or next to that I have to put a gate microphone, that they can all run on the same system, and I don't have to have completely different environments to run all of them.
In this case, it's a passive optical network where we are using passive technologies. That is, in the old days, you had all of these equipment rooms, communication rooms spread out all over the place, and you needed power and you needed cooling because you had all this equipment in there. Now we have a very small footprint. We have optical splitters that split the light in a passive way. We don't have to cool it. We don't have to do anything because it's not generating any heat. And in the case of a passive optical network, because it's all part of one system, we have a single point of control.
If we need to add a VLAN to a specific port 2 miles away in the farthest terminal or somewhere way down the line, we don't have to go to all of the switches in the line of connectivity out to that device to add that VLAN and make sure it's trunked all the way down there. We have a single switch infrastructure, single switching stack, which is the Telabs, and it operates as one large switch. So if we go into the management interface for Telabs, we can, with a couple clicks of a mouse, tell that port in the furthest terminal that we need that VLAN on that specific port. 3 clicks of a mouse and you're done.
They are always open, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So they require a network that is always on 24/7.
If we went and said, you can't use these gates for a week while we're cutting over, that just wouldn't fly. It wouldn't work.
For a hub that is always open 24/7, when are your maintenance windows? When can you shut down and actually do work? They're tough and harsh environments at times. While we all know the terminals that we walk through are clean and brightly lit, but behind the scenes, out on the tarmac, underneath in the baggage handling systems, in the bowels of the airport, they're dirty, they're harsh, they're loud, they have vibration, they have all these things happening. But guess what? The network needs to be there. So that's one of the things that the Telabs Optical LAN it really excels at in these tough and hardened, needed environments.
From a remote location through the internet, we can access this main control point and look at the system health. We can diagnose problems. If we get a call that there is a problem, we can do a little triage remotely very quickly, see where the problem is, the nature of the problem, and we know what resources to dispatch to the site in order to be most efficient once we get there. And this technology allows us to do that.
Passive optical networks are ideal for airports. They save time in implementation. They save space from putting the physical plant within an airport. They answer a lot of the security questions that are asked today. They let me combine multiple systems. When we look at it from a reliability, a sustainability, a long-term investment, we don't look at our equipment to be replaced every 5 years, and you can't do that in an airport. Again, 24/7 operations, I have to be up and running, and I don't have the luxury of yanking equipment every couple of years and putting something new in. And PON satisfies that requirement of being a long-term investment that just runs.